Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks so very much for watching. I so appreciate this. Filming these videos has been something that I wanted to do for a very long time, and I am finally here today doing it, so that in itself makes me very happy. But here today, I am here to do a style video. It's actually a hairstyling video. So today I'm going to show you exactly how I came up with this, which is a flat twist updo in the back, twist out here in the front. A lot of versatility. Love this hairstyle, and one of the reasons I wanted to come and show you this hairstyle is because of the setting and where I work, and it's very corporate American setting. Now in our office, I will admit it's very relaxed, but when we're with our clients in boardrooms, it's very suit and tie. So I love to be creative with my hairstyles and come up with ways where I can still show my individuality, my personality, but it still be very professional, chic, and nobody questions whether she has her stuff together. So join me on this journey. There's so many more videos to come, not just on hair and style, but life and the journey and questions and answers and things that we all may want to just have a conversation about. So let's get things started on the right foot. I'm gonna jump into this video. Any questions you guys have, any concerns, any feedback, love feedback, put it down below, and I'm gonna get back to you guys. Thanks so much and enjoy the video. So I am actually going to start this style on pre-washed and dried hair. I washed it the day before. I also moisturized it the day before and soaked it with some oil. And the next step here is just sectioning off your parts, which makes everything a lot easier when I get to the flat twisting portion. So just throwing a quick 2-strand twist in here and clipping that away. And then the next part will actually be the center. So this is going to be the part that is that cascading flat twist out part. It's going to be essential that, this is very well detangled, which we will definitely get to a little bit later on in the video. But for now, I just want to make sure it's up and out of the way. I've got 4 sections here, as you can see. And this back section, I'm going to start off with moisturizing it again. Just going to spritz it with a little bit of water. That's what's in that water bottle. And in addition to adding the water, I kind of want to seal that water in with a little bit of a buttercream moisturizer. Just a small bit, as you can see right here. I'm going to kind of rub that in between my hands and make sure I add that to this back quadrant of my hair. So here it's just kind of only getting on the outside of my hair, so I'm gonna divide it open a little bit and get it in the inside as well, making sure that all parts are moisturized, because this part is going to stay twisted for the remainder of the week, so I want to make sure that it is moisturized and good to go and happy and healthy in its protective state. So just a tad bit of detangling here with this large tooth comb, starting at the ends, working my way up. This was pretty easy. I did the majority of the detangling in the shower when I actually washed my hair. So this here is just really a light detangle to make sure that the flat twists are smooth and that I have an easier time when it comes to making parts for the actual updo portion of the style. Now, before I go into parting, I'm going to add a clip on this front section, the back of this front section, just to make sure I'm not grabbing any hair that is not supposed to be in that section. It'll also help me make my parts as clean as possible, which the cleaner the parts, the better. It definitely doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but it will assist. And this motion here is kind of showing you the direction that the braids will actually flow. They will go from the back of the head to the front, but that's the basic pattern that the twists will actually be twisted in. So I made that first part there, just adding a little twist and lock smoothie, detangling just a little bit more for that specific section. And once that is done, I am going to proceed to flat twisting upwards. If you have never flat twisted, in an upward motion, it is definitely a mind game. You definitely have to just think about it and rationalize what you're doing to make this easy and comfortable. But of course, the more you practice, the better it is. And even some of the flat twists I do, I think to myself, like, nah, that one's a little wonky, but I keep it moving. Hairstyles definitely don't need to be perfect. I think that kind of adds beauty to them, that it's not perfect, So I am going to continue with showing you one more flat twist on this side, and this is kind of an example of how some things aren't perfect. So that part there is not straight. So I kind of go back, straighten it up, get it a little bit better to my liking, flip it back away, And then I continue, add the twist and lock smoothie. Once again, I detangle again, get things as smooth as possible. And then I continue to add a clip, make sure I'm not grabbing any additional hair, and I flat twist up. So I'm actually going to continue this same motion on the back portion of my hair. It's going to be in that pattern that I kind of displayed for you earlier in the video. And ultimately, this is going to be the part that will stay twisted up, as I said earlier, for the rest of the week. And we will just pin that up and down. Here you can see all the flat twists are complete and going up. Headed to the side now, I've already added some twist and lock gel. Just going to be adding some clips, making sure I'm not grabbing anything extra. Slight detangle here with my brush. And I'm going to continue to flat twist up, making sure that that flat twist lays going up and not down. I just think it looks a little bit better on the side when it's viewed from this angle and twisted from this angle. And I'm going to continue this on this entire side until the entire side is completely twisted, as you can see here. And I'm doing the same thing on the opposite side, making sure that twist once again lays upward. And this is the last flat twist that will actually remain twisted throughout the rest of the week. Now we're going to tackle this center part that's going to cascade down. This is going to be the part that I'm going to want to make sure I keep it really moisturized because it will be untwisted throughout the week. So I am spritzing it with some water quickly. And also I'll be adding some moisturizer to that as well, a kind of thick buttercream. It should be fairly humid this week. So I want to kind of combat that, adding some to the ends and open it up as well, and making sure that I get it all within the inside as well and not just on the outside, especially since this is a denser part of my hair. Doing some light detangling again, starting from the end, working my way to the roots. This part is really important that it's detangled well because it will become the twist out. And the twist out will look smoother if it's done on detangled hair. Using the end of my rat tail comb here, throwing in some parts. These parts aren't as significant because we will be untwisting it. Adding a little lock and twist smoothie here. And I will proceed to flat twist that right after I finish one more additional detangle session. So the interesting thing about this portion of my hair is it is, not as tightly coiled as the sides of my hair. So typically I do bigger sections just to mimic what my hair would normally do, which is not much of anything here, but it does have a slight wave to it here on the front. But I have completed this part. I have about 5 or 6 flat twists going in that direction, and now I am going to pin up the back. So what you see me doing here is kind of twisting the twists in the direction that I twisted them to make sure that everything looks nice and tight and clean. And I'm going to do this all the way around, and you'll know if you're going in the wrong direction when you're twisting around your finger, because then it'll begin to unravel. So if you're going in the right direction, it'll just get a little bit tighter, and it just makes everything look crisp and clean. So I think that's a good little tip when you are flat twisting, to make it look neater and fresher for a longer amount of time. So I'm now twisting all of those, kind of swooping them around to one side, and then I'm going to tuck the ends under themselves and use a couple of bobby pins here to pin all of this down and make sure it's super secure. I only used about 3 or 4 bobby pins here, so it shouldn't take a ton of bobby pins, but if your hair is longer or thicker, it may take some additional ones, but just kind of use whatever you need to use to make sure it's secure and ultimately comfortable. So everything is completed. You could go out like this, but I'm actually going to add some rollers to the end of my hair. What I'm showing you here is an end paper. I like to wrap this around those perm rods because those perm rods have little baby teeth on there that when you unravel them, your hair senses tick on them, and I'm trying to maintain as much hair as possible, so snagging my hair on the rollers is not a good option for me. Here's an alternative method here. This is just kind of doing what they call a hanging bantu knot and securing it with a bobby pin. I'm continuing this process on the remainder of the hair. All those rollers already have the end papers on them. So I'm able to just throw the rollers in quickly and wind them up and secure them. So it's the next day, and I am going to go ahead and take these rollers down and kind of separate everything and go from there. And this is an alternative option. Sometimes I don't necessarily want to put in rollers because it becomes very uncomfortable to sleep in. So this here is kind of just doing a bantu knot on the end, and if your hair will stay secured without a bobby pin, you don't need this. But this definitely makes it more comfortable to actually sleep, which, you know, depending on how early or late I start my hair, that's really significant to be able to sleep. Because sometimes, you know, you wake up in the morning, your hair's still wet, and you slept with rollers, kind of defeats the purpose. So if it's gonna still be wet and not be completely dry, why not at least sleep comfortably? So all the rollers are out, and I just typically start from the back, separating things. Detangling and everything makes this process a lot easier. You should probably make sure you detangle the part that you're untwisting even better than what you would detangle the part that's gonna maintain flat twisted for the rest of the week. And the thing I like about styles like this, where you kind of flat twist some sort of updo in the back, and then you have a part that's separated, you have a lot of versatility throughout the week with how you're going to style this. And it's going to be a rainy week here where I live, so this might get pinned up, swoop to the side. So just, you know, a lot of options to where you can keep it fun, and, you know, every day it looks a little bit different, but it's still easy to maintain and not a lot of work and upkeep you have to do at night. So that is always a plus when it comes to hairstyles and, you know, having a busy lifestyle. It's a combination of work and play. So this is the very last twist that I'm taking loose. Everything has come out fairly good. I do see a part there that looks a little stringy. That's okay. We will work with that. Kind of add it into part of the style and what we've got going on. So this is kind of straight out of the twist. It's okay. You know, it would be okay to wear it like this. But there is some imperfections here. So I am going to fluff a little bit. It's always okay to use bobby pins as well. I'm gonna go ahead and grab those. But make it what you want. If it's a hot day, you don't want it on your forehead, you know, maybe pinning it up here and kind of letting it cascade more this way. And as the week goes, this will drop and, you know, do its own thing, so it won't look as tight. But I think for like a first day releasing this part, this is good. It's humid outside, so, you know, kind of roll with that. So I am gonna pick this out just a little bit for my hair. I typically don't pick things out. It is fairly thick, and I like to preserve the style as long as possible. But I did find this little tool, which I thought was pretty cool. It was advertised as a hair pick / scalp massager. I did kind of like that these ends are rounded here and not blunt or straight like a comb. This isn't necessarily a pick. Most people use a pick, but they're not blunt and straight like that. So it does make me feel like maybe I'm not damaging my hair or breaking it off. So I'm all about trying to keep the hair I have on my head. So just kind of going here where, you know, you might have had some parts or some parts that you want to camouflage and not necessarily show, you know. Add a little volume, whatever you're feeling for the day. And I mean, that's the fun part about hair and doing your hair, is you really can style it and mold it to whatever you want and however you're feeling. So I didn't do much at all there, but for me, I would be good with this. I would go to work, go to my events, whatever I had going on, and this would be fine for me on a day one. I do feel like some of these pieces, maybe I can separate a little bit back here. But yeah, that is the basics to the hairstyle. This is a go-to for me, as I said a little bit earlier, but I'll check back in with you guys. Probably have my next video be how I kind of maintain this throughout the week. Some different versatility aspects. I know a lot of people, you know, you may be exercising or you may have to do something at work where you need to pull it back. So we'll have some different options for the rest of the week. With this same hairstyle is how you can kind of alter this twist out portion, and you know, maybe it's not about exercise, but it's just superhuman. So I will check back in with you guys a little bit later on in the week. But hope you enjoyed the style. See you guys later.